So actress Cheryl Hines is trying to distance herself from her husband. Now, over the weekend, her husband, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., spoke at a rally and compared vaccine mandates to actions taken by the quote-unquote Nazis during the Holocaust, implying that even Jews back then had more freedoms than people who choose not to get vaccinated. Cheryl replied on Twitter saying, quote, "My husband's opinions are not a reflection of my own. While we love each other, we differ on many current issues." Robert has since apologized for making the remarks and the hurt that they may have caused. Tori, as a Jewish woman yourself, how does this make you feel?
Sit down, dude. Sit down. Take several seats. Your father would be ashamed of you to compare this to what awful crimes happened in the Holocaust. He's done it before, Robert Kennedy Jr. He's done this before. He's compared things to the Holocaust. It's like his go-to metaphor. Dude, let it go. And also, may I remind everyone, Cheryl Hines is the star of a show, or was, in which the main dude is specifically Jewish. Like, Curb Your Enthusiasm is a very Jewish-oriented show. I think she's going to have a lot of questions for her, because I don't get the attraction on that at all. That's a buzzkill for me. Bye.
I think you're exactly right, Tori, but let's take that out of it, because what he said no one can defend, right? Let's take it into a relationship maybe that's more typical with people at home. If one person's Republican, one person's Democrat, how do you go through those issues as a couple? And maybe does that cause you to break up or grow stronger?
You know, I think even, because when we say Democrat, Republican, it's so like, I don't know, it feels very hazy to me in some circles and circumstances.
Extreme almost.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it depends on what we're talking about. I just remember during during lockdown, because we're still in a pandemic, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I am so grateful that we are aligned on the same issues, these vital issues that actually affect us, our families, you know, our community, that we weren't in opposite corners, because I don't know, honestly, I don't know if we would have made it.
Right.
And I was saying that because I was responding to some other behaviors and situations in couples that I had seen play out, and there was just a trust that seemed to be lost between them. So I think this is a conversation that a lot of couples had to either navigate through or decide that they are no longer going to be together, because it just became that serious.
Yeah, you're right, Erica. There's, you know, we've even talked about it on the show, how the pandemic has almost brought up certain ideological differences that some people can't get stronger. It only means that they have to kind of, you know, say, we're going to have to agree to disagree, and we're going to have to live our lives differently, because it strikes each of them so differently to the core. My husband, who's Jewish, whose Bubby is still alive, she's almost 100 years old, escaped the Holocaust, and her whole family died. Mark unfriended a very dear friend because that friend kept putting out the same narrative that vaccine mandates are the same as the Holocaust. And for my husband, it was triggering. And I don't blame him 1,000% at all, considering that his living grandmother had to escape a train and her whole family perished in a concentration camp. So I think it's not only couples that are dealing with this. I think friends are I know friends are dealing with this too, because it affected our family. And I know a lot of our viewers have had to say goodbye to family members. And that's sad. It really is. But I don't know how you can get stronger from that. I wish we could, Jeff.
Well, I think when we use examples like John F. Kennedy Jr.
Too extreme.
Extremists, that's what I'm going for. If you're too extreme on the left, too extreme on the right, and someone's kind of just moderate, like in the middle, for me, if my wife was so far left or right either way, I don't know if we would be able to get over that hump. I think that's what people are getting more agitated as time goes on about politics, more divisive, and I think it is affecting a lot of relationships out there. I like to stay more in the middle, see both sides, watch a little Fox, watch those CNN. And Curb Your Enthusiasm, you know, to end the night. So, but I think if you're extreme, it's tough to get past that. I'm surprised, Cheryl, it's interesting how she's handling it.
I know. I would love to hear more about how they are handling it, because I know a lot of us can relate.